Hello, welcome to my channel, and my name is Lalita Janette. You are with me on day 9 of my journey of speaking up, where I come up live and speak whatever in my head out as practice to overcome the fears of doing it and overcome the loop of perfectionist that I am having right now, and it's on day 9 now. I have to say I feel much more relaxing of doing this. I feel more comfortable and like just coming and just do it without knowing what I'm gonna talking about. So yeah, and today I like to talk about my days. Today I spend most of my day. Is it Saturday? Yeah, most of my day editing my writing. I'm currently writing a novel, and it is about my experience using psychedelic medicines and that trick the suppress and repress emotion inside of me. So the story is very intense and very complicated and complex to do it, but I'm very enjoy doing it. And I'm now on, I would say, about 30% of the progress of the book, which is about 43,000 words right now. And I think the book should be finished around 120,000 words. So that it was pretty much I did today. It very complicated chapter because I was discussing in the chapters about the use of cannabis and the kind of discussion and controversy, the discussion and the work that people have done in the past to prove that there were use of cannabis in the old time, and there's some reference also in the Bible. By saying this, I personally not really have what to believe, because there were actually in the Bible itself there was a lot of people came about different things and something that kind of go against the church belief. And to me, I don't really against church, and I'm not really agree with church, and I am very curious about all kind of discussions that people have, and I like to explore and experience and learn about it. So yeah, I'm writing about the talk that people talking about the use of cannabis in anoint oil Jesus used for healing, and there's some of interesting fact that I found. Like first in some researchers named Sula Bendit who think that the translation in the Bible is incorrect and is missing the word that actually reference to the cannabis used in the anointing oil and also in several incense that they use in a ceremony and so on. And I found today the researcher have found the elements like back element in one of the temple in Israel, and then they did the analysis of this thing, and it found it to be cannabis with the THC content, which is mean that they burn this cannabis in the temple like a long time ago in the ceremony. So this is like very interesting, and I have nothing against Christian and church and anything like this. I just find it fascinating, and I know there was a lot of like discussion and debate, and many good Christians saying that you shouldn't use this and that. There shouldn't be there's a lot of things not to do because a lot of things are sinful. And I think there is a reason for it to be that way. Myself, I am Jesus follower. I believe in Jesus and I very much connect with Jesus. But if the Christian, like very, very Christian, expose my contents, they would think that definitely I couldn't be Jesus follower. And I'm sure that there's a lot of Jesus lover and people who believe in Jesus who definitely have very opposite view, different view than the um, majority of the Christians, and must have a lot of conflict heart about what actually to follow. And when I follow Jesus at the beginning, um, I didn't really expose much to the Christian community. I would say the way Jesus came to me was not that I was born Buddhism, so it's very obviously it's not something that I grew up with. I don't have a Christian communities. I don't have a Christian friend, and no one actually introduced me to Jesus. It happened by itself. It happened on my own. Um, it happened in a way that miraculous. And I will save this story for another time. But what I want to say is like because I convert by myself without knowing that I convert. Yeah, I happened to come upon the prayer to convert, and I did it without knowing that I did something to myself. But in that time, I feel very strong connection to Jesus, and He has performed a lot of miracle in my life. And the thing because I didn't really know Jesus too sure, and I know Jesus from the living Jesus, because He didn't die. He was crucified on the cross and then He rose 3 days after. So Jesus wasn't die. He is a living God. So even though I didn't really have someone guide me through the experience, Jesus Himself could always connect to me. He could always teach me to several things, point me out to hear things, see things, think certain things. And so when I came across some of the Christians and some of the Christian teachings, I have to say that some of those are very different from my first hand experience feeling Jesus Himself. And I see as well that some people who believe they are Christian, they using the words of God in the Bible to manipulate the masses and control people to be in certain way. And I used to really also be controlled in certain way as well in the form of religions. And I would not say that people did that on the bad purpose. Obviously not. I really believe that everyone's deep in their core are great people and good people, and they want good for other. But of course, with the limited of our understanding, limited of our interpretation and experience, something that we understood might not be the truth. And when you have a power or authorizations or position, your word could sound like a demand, a command. Like in my case, I wanna share some example because I was born Buddhism, and in Buddhism, especially in Thailand, you know, even though we are not have a hierarchy system like in India, but there was still pretty much this concept in there. So if we ranking what's important and what we have to respect, monk is come the number one that we must respect. Then after is a king and so on. So in terms of religions, especially Buddhism, it's nearly impossible to criticize. To give a bad word or have opinion is not by law, but it's by cultures and by moral and what we believe, which is even stronger than law. Law, when some people not be seen, when we not be seen, sometimes we break the law. Like if like it's not allowed to drive not more than 90 kilometers per hour, but there's no one watching. Some of us are breaking the law. But when something come across culture is even stronger, that even you not get washed, then you still not doing it. And the diligence is something that is very difficult. And everything when I was young, everything that came out of the monk mouth teaching is mean this, mean that. No other ways around. Because I was young and I know nothing else. And a lot of teaching that I heard when I was young is about sin. It's about karma. We didn't really call sin, we call karma. In Buddhism, we believe in karma. If you done bad karma, you're gonna get bad impacts, effects. And if you done good thing, you got good thing, which is I believe in the law of karma, but I believe more in that karma is an action. In every action, there is a consequence. Good or bad is what the mind define. So this karma thing was taught in the temple. Like for example, if you have done some bad thing, like in Buddhism, there is 5 kind of rules that we go by. Not kill, not steal, not lie, not have affair, sexual affair. What is another one? Not drink alcohol and drug in general. And these 5 law is like a just general law for regular people. If you were monk, there was 200 something to do, which is much more. So in this 5 law alone, if I lied, I was told that if I lied, when I die, I would born in hell. And then there will be kind of hell managers called Yomaban. It's a hell god, god of hell, who will be able to see through what I have done in my life and then give me penalty I supposed to. So if I lie, I would get, they will pull my tongues out and then kind of torture, like doing the hot oil or like solo torturing until you die again in hell. And if you lie a lot, then you're born again in hell and repeat it until your karma is done. This is only the lie. And there's another thing else, well, much more. So I was very afraid of doing anything wrong, really. Consequently, like I appear like a nice girl out of fear, and most of people are under this influence of fear of karma and the concept of heaven and hell. And when I grow up, I started to question about this, as I also very much curious about things I learned also about other kinds of life after death from different of the belief, which some are quite similar, some are different. Like Christian alone, they don't believe in reincarnation. So you believe in Jesus, you're saved, and hola, if you're not saved. So something like that. And the thing is, if the something that is ultimate truth, it will only have one, not so many believe. And I start to question that maybe all of these are not really correct as it is. And then I start to dislike that what I was told when I was young through the mouth of monk in the Thai temple. I'm not saying every monk, but some and many are convey this message were to control people to be good people. And in some way it's good because society have less chaotic and serious problem because we are all fear, you know. So I noticed that, and when I noticed that, I start to notice a lot of manipulation technique that being used in religions in order to shape the society or make society in a certain way. So in that sense, I started to recognize, think, and and it made me feel conflicting in my heart about what actually true and correct about being human, about walking the faith and following Jesus or following whatever you wanna follow. And from my experience, which is I am just one of the person, the way I connect to Jesus and the way Jesus told me, if he's he's not judge anyone. He have no judgment toward anyone. He have no strict rules and law to follow. He actually the guy who very much flexible in wanted to know you and wanted to connect with you. He will use any kind, any form, in any way in order to be able to give your message. And he also doesn't have one form as well. This is what I feel. And I don't know how to explain, but when you get rid of this my concept or the interpretation that other people offer to you, and then you get to know Jesus from your true heart and yourself directly to him, everything is will make more sense. And like in the church community, they will encourage us to not do a sinful thing and have a very thick stick rule and law about certain things. And sometimes it could come across that you will feel like you never fit in and you'll never be good enough. But in my experience with Jesus, he never measure us by those thick stick rule, and he actually allow us to do mistake, to do something that other people call sinful, and that was also part of the plan. And in some way, I don't really relate to the word sinful or this kinds of karma anymore, because sin or karma or thing like this that they set as a rule is coming from a conception by the mind that all the society together, majority of people said that this is what good, this is what not good. Like for example, like we have the 5 law of Buddhism. One of that is like no sexual sin. It means like you not have sex before married, you not have sex with someone else that is not your wife and your husband. You not I don't know much more detail. Just alone that not having sex before married, not having sex with more than one person, the rest of your life, something like this. My cat. Mm. Like in another kinds of uh, community and belief and practice, for example, like in the tantric communities, where they look at the sexual in just a different way. Like in a tantric essence, is considering sexual energy is sacred, and in that tantric community, you can even use sexual as the way to liberation, to evolving. Like there's a practice of open relationship polyamory that you pack you use this as a practice in order to learn to love more than people, or even to love the person the way the person is. Like when we call love this day is like, okay, if you love me, you must not love someone else. If you love me, you must only have sex with me, and that's it. And actually, this is not love at all. This is rule. Like it's a love with condition. If you love me, you must be this. And in the tantric community, polyamory, open relationship thing, they want to embrace that if you love the person, you love them no matter what. You love them, you're happy for them when they are happy. So if they are happy, be in relationship with another people, could you be happy for the person if you really truly love someone unconditionally? I know the concept is really hard to grab, but that open open me up to questioning, what is this law that we have in the Buddhism for not sleep loud, not have many partner or thing like this. It's just a concept of the mind. When the mind make it to concept and we make it a law, and then we call good. But then there is no good and there is no bad. If there is no good and there is no bad, then anything people interpret for you to follow, it doesn't mean good in God world. It's just good in a human world. It's not, God doesn't have their own desire. Well, why am I talking about this? I just wanted to connect to people who actually feel like they are connecting to something higher than themselves, bigger than themselves, but like Jesus, but doesn't feel like anything in the community of Jesus follower sound alike. To know that you're not weird, huh? You're not crazy. I'm too. And I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, maybe another day I will share how I become Jesus follower, my journey into the spiritualities, and what I'm believing right now. That could be a good topic for the tomorrow or next day, the day after. For today, I think I'm super sleepy now. I'm gonna go to bed. All right, I love you. See you.